What is going on, you guys? So today I just want to make a brief video about how it will help you to start focusing a bit more on mobility training. So if you don't really know what mobility training is, it's all in the name, right? So being able to become more mobile in your body while you're moving around, exercising, going about your daily life. And the reason that this is so important, right? It's not necessarily just about like stretching, because you see a lot of people, for example, like I guess number one, like you can see like some people who become really muscular, although they lack movement. They lack the ability to move things, right? Like we've all seen the guy who like can't really like kind of move his neck or like move his arms or like sort of like touch the middle of his back, like things like that. Like they can't necessarily move all the way, and that's because they haven't really focused on mobility training. And a lot of times that's related a bit to stretching and also just focusing on certain movements. Like there's certain exercises that you can do to focus on mobility as well, just to strengthen some of those muscles so you become more mobile, really. I mean, it's really all in the name, very like self-explanatory. And the other example of this is you see this happen to a lot of people who don't exercise at all or don't stretch at all, don't focus on mobility training. Like we've seen the kind of person who's kind of like waddling a little bit, and it's like tough for them to bend down, or they have a tough time doing sort of like basic tasks with their life. So I'm really only making this video because I want you to look into this if this is something that you struggle with, right? And even if it isn't something you struggle with, we all would benefit from engaging in mobility training at some point. Because I mean, let's say you're super strong, super agile, you can move all around in your 20s. Like once you start getting up there towards like 30s, 40s onward, like you're not always going to be able to do the same things, the same kind of like big lifts or like exercises that you used to be able to do. And for, some people, they can extend that for a long time. They can keep building for a long time. And at a certain point, that's why the mobility training becomes so important, is because you do cross a threshold, right? Whether it's because you're getting older or whatever it is, right? Like some people get there sooner because they're not taking care of the mobility part. When you cross that threshold, you have to really be careful, because like your muscle and bone start to deteriorate a little bit, and you can see, right, when people aren't as able to move like they want to. And I mean, you can also see examples of that with old people who like obviously take care of themselves, and it's like, man, you always think that, right? You're like, man, when I'm old, like I want to be like that, right? Like I want to be able to dodge and weave, be able to kind of move around like Spider-Man or something. But I know I am not an expert in mobility training, but I have started doing it, and it has become really helpful for me in terms of weightlifting and just everyday exercise. It started to incorporate a lot more stretching and getting me to be a little bit more agile, right? Agile, and also there's certain ways like I couldn't move before, but it's just starting to get a little bit better. So this is a long way of saying that I'm not the expert on mobility training, but you should incorporate it in your life, because I promise you it's going to benefit you and your health a lot. You got this, bro.